Hello, children. So I've been keeping abreast of the situation with the whole EU Parliament's vote on Article 11 and Article 13, which those two combined will destroy the internet for all of Europe, including Britain because it's not out yet. And the funny thing is, this shit was tried twice before, once in Germany and once in Spain. In Germany, they had to news companies had to give Google News a free pass just to say, please continue posting our news. We won't fine you for it. They didn't do that in Spain. In Germany, they managed to keep Google News there. In Spain, Google News pulled out and said, fuck you, I ain't paying. So the journalistic economy in Spain crashed. Because, ain't nobody paying to read that many newspapers when they can go to just one. That's what's going to happen to the rest of the internet for all of Europe. Because they passed the shit. Even though it failed twice, they passed it. So, the state of it is now, unless we can really heckle these people into getting their heads out of their asses, we have until January to enjoy our internet. Because after January, there will be no internet. Because all of the major companies who don't want to pay extra taxes, who don't want to pay extra fines, will be pulling out of the countries. I think it's the LA Times is one of the companies that said that if you try to log on to the LA Times anywhere in Europe, you get a message saying, we are sorry, but we are unavailable in all European countries. We are trying to provide services, however, such and such legislation. That's what you're going to get for things like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Google. That's what we're going to be getting. Welcome to China 2.0. You can mail our MEPs all we want. That didn't work. It worked to get it postponed, but they still ended up voting for the shit without even bothering to figure out what it is or read anything about it. And the problem here stems from the fact that it's a bunch of people who never actually go on the internet, who don't know how it works, who are voting for the shit without actually reading what it's supposed to do, and not paying attention to the fact that it hasn't worked. It will not work. The internet is too big of a beast and too international to try and make this work. It's a censorship on a grand scale. It's not going to work. Yeah, you will crash the internet for all of Europe. And what are you going to get then? You won't like it. You won't like it at all. I mean, yeah, I'm about to lose my internet. And so is everybody I know over here. And I say this often, out in public anyway. 1984 was supposed to be a warning. That novel was supposed to be a warning. These stupid motherfuckers are using it as a manual. And then you got Merkel in Germany repeating the same mistakes that happened in the Weimar Republic back when, you know when. Back then, the people in power said that they needed surveillance on the opposition party. The opposition party at the time happened to be the Nazi Party. And the person they sent in for that surveillance to spy on him was Hitler. We all know what happened after that, right? Well, now Merkel is saying she wants surveillance on the opposition party, the AfD. If you cannot learn from history, you are bound to repeat it. Hopefully it won't have the same ending. But so far, Merkel and her ilk have managed to do what Hitler failed at. With this Article 11, Article 13, that's just two of the problems that we've been seeing over here in Europe. Yeah. All of Europe is basically being conquered. To thunderous applause. And nobody's speaking up because they're just trying to get on with their lives. Or they just don't understand what's going on. Or they're listening too much to the mainstream media, who ain't telling them anything. Who's saying everything is, oh, fine, fantastic. We're losing our internet. Losing culture because expressing any of your joy in your culture is now considered racist. I mean, Morris dances. It's an English thing, but Morris dancers have been vilified because historically, traditionally, they paint their faces. Flying your own country's flag is considered racist. That's some stupid shit right there. Being proud of your cultural traditions. Xenophobic. Saying that you've got an issue with the amount of tax being taken out to pay for somebody else. That's bigoted. Wanting meritocracy, wanting to have the best person at the job do the job. That's bigoted. Not because it actually is bigoted, but because the bigots who are in power claim that you are a bigot because they don't see the people they are fighting for as worthy of the jobs, as capable of getting the jobs. The attack on meritocracy is sexist and racist because it's basically saying that women and minorities can't get it on their own merits. That's what it's saying. Now, with Article 11 and 13, no more memes, no more cover music, no more remixes, no more parodies. My karaoke on this channel will probably be going down come January. Because I already got a message saying that it might be copyrighted just by putting it up. It ain't monetized or anything, but just by putting it up, I got a message saying it might be copyrighted, which means it will be taken down. Thank you very much, you old stupid bastards. You know nothing about the internet. You should not be voting on anything to do with the internet. Get the fuck out. And yeah, I voted to leave because of such shit. But unfortunately, Theresa May is dragging her heels and fucking it up so badly, I doubt we're going to be out in anything but name. Right now, I'm hoping for a no deal. That means we cut ties with the whole goddamn thing, and I hope we do it before this shit comes into play for the simple fact that I don't want to have to fuss and fight and argue and hem and haw over repealing this shit. God damn it. Ugh. And it's all about the big businesses who are lobbying in favor of this type of censorship because they won't really be affected. Sure, they might lose a few European customers with a few things that they won't be putting up here. Like Google News. And sure, it may sting them just a little bit over all the extra work they'll have to do. But they'll be making money. They'll be keeping themselves as monopolies. Because let's not kid ourselves here. Google, Facebook, and Twitter are monopolies. There is no one who can compete with them yet. And with this legislation and such like it all over the internet, there will be no one who can compete with them until we have people smart enough programmer smart enough in the alt tech who can build a separate internet. I know I'm not one of them, but I will be jumping on as soon as they do. 'Cause goddamn. Bring on the blockchain. So, yeah, bring on the blockchain. I highly recommend, with all of the bullshit that's going on in Silicon Valley to power this shit, that anybody who can, get on Minds, get on Gab, get on BitChute. Because the monopolies are banning people off of their platforms. They claim that, Twitter claims that Trump blocking anyone from his Twitter page is a violation of the person who he blocked, their free speech. And yet, they are banning people left, right, and center off of Twitter. How is that not a violation of their free speech? No answer. And they are in lockstep with each other, because if you get banned off of one, you get banned off of every damn one within hours of each other. They're monopolies. They're running the whole thing. And unfortunately, we don't really have any alternatives that are big enough to say, you know what, fuck you, I'm going over there. Make them bigger. Everybody, get on Gab, get on Minds, get on BitChute. And this will be going on BitChute too. Get on every alternative tech you can. 'Cause who's to say you won't be the next person unpersoned? They did it to Alex Jones. They did it to the Proud Boys. And there were some black Proud Boys, so I don't see how they could say they're white supremacists. Paul Joseph Watson's probably next, followed by Steven Crowder, maybe. Stefan Molyneux, probably. I think the only reason why I haven't had much shit from YouTube or Twitter so far is you can't really give a minority too much shit, otherwise people might start seeing that, wait a second, the only thing about her that's objectionable is what she says. Precisely. Ugh. This whole copyright directive thing that they've done in the European Union, I gotta wonder, is it simply because you blame the internet for what's happened since 2015? Is it simply because you blame the internet for Trump? Is it simply because you blame the internet for Brexit? Is it simply because you blame the internet for anybody who's finding out the shit you're doing, actually seeing what's going on in the world and saying, hey, wait a minute, I didn't vote for this, get out? I think that's a part of it. They don't want to lose their power anymore. Because the more countries that pull out of the EU, the smaller the EU gets, the less of a job that the people in the EU Parliament have. And £120 an hour job? Gone bye-bye? Oh, they don't want that. And the big tech companies, they don't want competition. And the only people who'll be able to pay for the fines and fees and taxes that are going to come with this bullshit are the big tech companies. Because a small guy ain't gonna be able to do it. It's a good thing I don't really know how to post memes or anything like that, or links, or put up any pictures or videos inside my videos of what I'm looking at. That last one that I did back then on Riley Ennis, that was a fluke. It went away. My ability to do that went away. I could probably get tutored on how to do it again, but there's no point now. So yeah. You're going to see a lot more YouTubers like me because we're going to be the only ones allowed because there's no copyright material. And you gotta admit, it's a wee bit, just a little bit low budget, so to speak. So yeah, the EU has fucked us. Welcome to the New World Order. Next comes the memory hole. Because Amazon's doing digital book burning. And free speech is gone.